What's up YouTube? Today's video will be an interesting one. I will share with you the top 16 players right now in the soccer card market, so if in the end up enjoying this video, leave a like, means a lot to me and is one of the best ways to show support. Apart from that, a lot of viewers are not even subscribers, consider to change that. And again, this is a new thing I'm trying out on this channel, so if you end up enjoying the video, I will repeat myself, but leaving a like is really important. Let's move on into the video. Okay, so before we go into the top 16, I need to share a couple of things. All of this data was obtained on my Instagram. Of course, this is anecdotal data and have a fun component. That being said, we are still talking about 400 votes, which is a lot, especially for a community that is very well educated in the soccer card market. And if you want to pause the video and check the rules, I think this is a great time to do it. As you can see, basically, if people choose the option number 4, means the player is GOAT level, number 1 not relevant at all, and the video today will actually be more focused on the position number 3, which is top 100 of all time. I end up sharing a lot of players, and from all the players I shared, only 16 players end up having above 50% of the votes in the top 100 all time. And from these 16 players, only 2 had above 50% of the votes in the GOAT level. So the way I will do it is quite easy. I will basically count the votes for top 100 and GOAT level, and these will be the ones I will share with you. Like I said, 16 players. So let's start with the first one, and also quite important to say, I will share with you my perspective in the sense that if I agree this player is top 100 of all time or not, but this is basically my viewers, in this case subscribers on Instagram perception. And the first one is actually Thomas Muller. 59% of the people believe Thomas Muller can be top 100 player of all time. As you can see, the way I go with this is I picked the spot number 3 and number 4, I put both together and I go with the top 100, because if someone believes Thomas Muller is GOAT level, they also believe he's top 100. So very easy stuff to understand, but since we are at the beginning of the video, I thought it was important to explain. So 59% of the people believe he's top 100, 5% GOAT level, and the other stuff is also, most people end up going for legend or top 100. 4% not relevant, I think that's quite crazy to be honest. GOAT level 5%, I also think is a bit crazy, so I agree much more with legend and top 100. In my perspective, Thomas Muller is actually one of the best players of this generation. In my list will be a little bit, will probably be top 7, top 8. Why? Well, I have Thomas Muller in very, very high consideration. I made the investing in greatness for him, so you guys probably can imagine that I have Thomas Muller up there in terms of greatness. For me, one of the best German players ever. From this generation, again, I think 16 is just too low. I understand he's a player that people may not like the way he plays, but his numbers, his trophies, I mean, it's just too much stuff to have him so low. But my perspective, my viewers end up going with position number 16. Moving on, and the next one is actually Luis Suarez, and Luis Suarez end up very similar to Thomas Muller. In this case, 62% believe Suarez can be top 100, with 9% actually putting GOAT levels. I disagree again. I also disagree with the 4% not relevant at all. Similar situation with the Thomas Muller is between legend or top 100. And for people that may say top 100 legend seems almost the same thing, I don't think so. I think a player that could be a good example of this is Frank Ribéry. I think Frank Ribéry is a legendary player, but I don't think he's top 100. So top 100, everyone is a legend, but to be top 100 is quite difficult. I would say I agree with Suarez being top 100 of all time. Probably will be a little bit ahead of my list again, but he's a player that at least I'm happy to see making the top 16. Next one, I am also sharing the rookies as you can see for the players I'm talking about, but it's just to make the video more entertaining. So Next one is Haaland. This is the one that people need to speculate, but 68% of the people believe Haaland can be top 100 when his career is done. With 16% believing Haaland can go to GOAT level. There is a lot of speculation on a player like this, of course, but it's part of the fun to put players like Haaland, Mbappe, etc. 52% believe will be top 100, so being the choice that people choose the most. And actually, if you think about top 100, quite impressive, no doubt, but for the prices people are paying for Haaland, seems a bit too much, being honest. But different conversation for another day. Another player that have multiple rookies, putting two that I believe are quite popular for Haaland collectors. Next one, and I'm talking about Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, one of the most popular players right now, in my perspective, one of the best players in the world. And 69% of the people believe Kevin De Bruyne can be top 100, with 11% going to GOAT level. Disagree quite a lot with this, of course. Top 100, 58%, and 26 legends. So Kevin De Bruyne is the one I'm not sure. I think he's such an amazing player, but I'm not sure if compared with the others, apart from Haaland also, but compared with Suarez and Thomas Muller, I think in terms of greatness, he's not there yet. But I think there is a scenario Kevin De Bruyne gets there. Why? Well, Kevin De Bruyne needs a Champions League. Kevin De Bruyne needs some with Belgium, or at least something more, because in Premier League is amazing, no doubt, but he needs to go to the next level. But again, he's still, let's say, young, so it's possible that will happen for him. And if that's the case, I would completely agree that Kevin De Bruyne is probably a top 100 type of caliber player, but probably will be lower on my list. Like I said, I put Suarez and Thomas Muller ahead of him quite easy. Move at least, again, for now, but I also understand people are speculating a bit. He's a player that have multiple rookies, being the stickers the most popular, but there is also a couple of cards from Carta Mundi, Mega Kick set that recently started getting graded by PSA. All of them, I think, are amazing collectibles. In the position number 12, we have Sergio Ramos, and this is one that I completely agree is top 100. Actually, 71% believe Sergio Ramos will be, or is already, it depends the perspective to be fair, but 71% believe Ramos can be top 100. So 23% putting GOAT level, which I thought was quite interesting. And let's talk about this logic of GOAT level. Everything on this video is up to interpretation, as you can imagine, but if GOAT level is, being Maradona level or Messi, well, I think we all agree, not the case at all in terms of impact, etc. But being one of the GOATs, one of the best ever in his position, I think Sergio Ramos, without a doubt, is a GOAT type of player for the central defensive position. In terms of central defenders, do not get even you can put whatever, the Baresi, Maldini, does not matter. Sergio Ramos compete with all of them and is one of the best ever in his position. So if you go by that logic, Sergio Ramos can actually be GOAT level. Top 100, I have no doubt, will be much higher on my list. Again, from the top of my head, I don't know if it will be top 3, top 5, I don't know, but will be very close to the top for sure. In terms of rookies, it's a player that also have a lot of rookies. There is also a trading card that I'm forgetting the name, I believe it's Adrenaline. So a very interesting player to collect. I would say the best rookie for him, at least one the market likes the most, is the Mega Cracks. Similar logic to Lionel Messi. Actually, the rookie year is in the same year. Moving on, in the position number 11, we have Modric. Also very happy to see a player like this making the list, because we need more players like Modric. Yes, Modric does not score a lot of goals, but he's such a legendary player. He's a wizard with the ball, and that's more, is less tangible, is more the wow factor. But I think Modric totally deserves to be on the list, and in this case, 72% believe Modric can be top 100, with 9% putting GOAT level. Disagree with that. I think his top 100 fits very well for Modric. Probably will be top 10 on my list, I'm not sure, but I think 11 is also fine for Modric. And again, Modric can still win a lot of stuff, especially because Real Madrid is one of the best teams in the world and Modric is still playing at an amazing level. So there is also that. For now, I think 11 is okay. Probably will be top 10 on my list, and in the future can even be, for example, top 6, top 5. Who knows? Moving on, just to a quick word on his rookies. A player that got the main rookie, or the true rookie, better saying, for Modric is the 2005 Moura Nogomet. Got graded very recently, 1.5, not the best grade, but a very difficult card to find, and also the second year that people also consider rookie material. Let's move on into the top 10, but before I go into that, let me say a couple of things. I will go quite fast. If you love my content on YouTube, I also have a Patreon community where I put probably even more content than I put on YouTube sometimes, and it's a good way to show support, and apart from that, I provide a lot of value there. If you join the Patreon right now, you have access to all the old stuff, and you can ask questions for the next Q&As. End up answering more than 200-300 questions in the last couple of months. Quite crazy to think about. So we are more than 60 Patreon members, which is quite crazy for such a small channel, but I'm very thankful for all the support. Let's say $10, because it's what you need to pay for Patreon, is a lot of money to you. Don't feel pressure by any means. There is always free content on YouTube, and one thing that is free is actually my Discord server. We are more than 700 members, and we are growing very, very fast. Amazing place to learn and share. If you want to talk with collectors that have more experience than you in the soccer card market, this is the place to be in. Link below the video if you want to join any of my, I'll say, other communities. Let's move on into the top 10. And the first player making top 10 is actually Kylian Mbappe. And interesting one, 73% believe Mbappe can be top 100 all time. And 19% actually goes with GOAT level. GOAT level, I think it's a little bit too soon to say stuff like that. Same logic goes for Haaland. I agree, Mbappe and Haaland are the new kids that have the most potentially to enter that conversation. But the top 100, I think Mbappe have the potential to be there, being honest. Already won World Cup, multiple titles, even if people don't consider, but still multiple titles with, considering I regard, multiple titles with PSG. So I believe if I had to bet money, for sure Mbappe will be a top 100 type of player. GOAT level is where it gets a little bit more tricky, but we need to wait and see. In terms of rookies, you have the 2016 Panini Foot and also Top Chrome. There is also Prism. There is different cards that people also consider rookies for Mbappe. I'm putting two that I like, but there is more. Quite interesting to see Mbappe making the top 10. I'm not sure if I would put Mbappe on top 10. Probably, but maybe not. I'm really not sure. So one thing that I'm sure, and I'm repeating myself, is Thomas Muller and Suarez will be on my top 10, and in this case they are not. So moving on, in the position number 9 we have Neymar, and with this one I agree quite a lot. Neymar needs to be top 10. For me, in terms of talent, if you don't want to count Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, I think this is probably the best player we saw in the last 10-20 years quite easily. Amazing player when Neymar went, and that's sometimes the problem with Neymar, and 74% believe Neymar can be top 100, with 13% putting GOAT level, which I disagree. Maybe if Neymar can win in a spectacular way with Brazil the next World Cup, my opinion could change. For now, I think top 100 fits Neymar very well. When I say top 100, keep one thing in mind. Certain players will be top 50, others will be maybe top 25. But you guys get the point. That will be so subjective. Even this is subjective, but going into a more specific type of top will be even more difficult to do. In terms of rookies, the main cards are the Abril goals, quite beautiful cards. I love the action shot more than the headshot, but I think both are quite beautiful cards. And I would say this is probably the player I agree the most being on the top 10 for now, even though I would still put Suarez and Moura. Position number 8, we have Zlatan Ibrahimovic, very controversial player for some people, but for me, without a doubt, a top 10 player for this generation. Such a legend. I've been playing at the top level for so long. Never won a Champions League, but the reality is, at club level, this man was a machine. 16% end up putting GOAT level. Again, disagree with that, being honest. But top 100, similar logic to Neymar, I agree. So this guy 78% believe Ibra can be top 100, and I could not agree more. In terms of rookies, there is only one rookie, the 2000 Panini Football. Beautiful sticker, very, very difficult to find. I think also a nice alternative could be the 2001 Panini Foot, a little bit more easy to find, but also not a very easy sticker in general. It's just easier if you compare with the main rookie. And in the position number 7, we have Manuel Neuer. Very happy to see goalkeepers making the position. It makes me, actually shows that my people that follow me on Instagram are very well educated, because some people don't even consider goalkeepers when talking about greatness. In this case, 79% of the people believe Neuer can be top 100, and guess what? 32% GOAT level. So Neuer was actually one of the players with the highest percentage on GOAT level. But for me, needs to be above 50% to put at GOAT level. Similar logic that I'm doing with the top 100. Difficult, again, it's difficult to rank goalkeepers. I think Manuel Neuer could be the best goalkeeper ever, could be top 3. Is up to debate, being honest. If you say Neuer is the best goalkeeper ever, stats and trophies, you have great arguments looking at that. I think top 100 makes sense, but will be very high on my list. For me, if we look in a macro perspective, I tend to put at least top 50 in general, Manuel Neuer. I think this guy is one of the best in his position, but being a goalkeeper, there is also almost a complex going around goalkeepers. So, moving on, in terms of rookies, a player that have a couple, there is the card, there is 2 stickers, and I'm putting a sticker and a card. The ones I like the most, I think both are beautiful, and they are still quite cheap, being honest. So, moving on to the position number 6, we have Robert Lewandowski, and this was an interesting one. 80% believe Lewandowski can be top 100. Completely agree. I think Lewandowski is a legendary player, no doubt. But I think he's more than legend. So, look, this man, I believe, is top 3 or top 4 in the Champions League all-time goal scorers. He's one of the best end up breaking records in Bundesliga all over. He's playing amazing for Barcelona. I understand that there was other greats in the past, but I also think we need to look at this generation and understand that we are seeing amazing talent, and Lewandowski is a very good example of that. Completely agree. Position number 6 seems fine for me. So, in terms of rookies, Lewandowski have 2 rookies, the action shot and the headshot, both stickers. The headshot is a little bit more difficult to find than the action shot, but I think both are great options. Moving on to the position number 5, we have Buffon. And if I was saying Neuer could be the best goalkeeper ever, for me, at least for now, Buffon is the best goalkeeper ever. 81% of the people believe Buffon can be top 100. And is the 3rd player with the most votes for GOAT level. 34% believe Buffon can be GOAT level, and I don't disagree with that at all. I actually agree a lot. I mean, come on, in terms of goalkeepers, yes, Neuer, Casillas, Buffon, Yashin, but I think Buffon probably is the name that is more popular among all the other goalkeepers. So, top 5, I think makes sense, honestly. Not sure if it will be top 4, top 3 for me, but top 5, I'm very fine with that. In terms of rookie, there is one rookie, but there is 2 different versions for the rookie. So there is the Italian version, and there is also another one that is a little bit more difficult to find. I have photos on my Instagram if you want to check. That basically is the same as this one, but the back is Japanese back. Very happy to see Buffon on the top 5. Position number 4, we have Karim Benzema. I thought Karim Benzema is without a doubt one of the best players of this generation. It also was For example, I put Buffon ahead of Benzema just to share with you, but I think being top 5, top 6 is not something that I disagree. For me, I think top 10 is enough for Benzema, but yeah, without a doubt, also there is probably some recent bias in the sense that Benzema has been playing so well. And in this case, 83% believe Benzema can be top 100 with 15% GOAT level. Disagree completely with GOAT level, but I agree with top 100 for sure. He's a man that is breaking records also all over and is the most likely the Ballon d'Or winner this year. In terms of Fugi material, he's a player that you can find quite easy the Panini foot. The one that tends to be very difficult is the McDonald's. I'm very likely to have one. It's almost a similar logic with the Buffon, but very happy to see this man making the top 4. The next one is a player that will surprise a lot of you guys, and I'm talking about Andres Iniesta. Why? Because some people think Andres Iniesta is already retired. Of course, he's not. He's playing in Japan, so we end up making the list of active players, even though I'm also with you guys. I almost forget Iniesta is still playing, but, well, the reality is end up entering in the conversation for this top and made the position number 3, and I completely agree. I mean, I think Iniesta, for me, Iniesta is if not GOAT level, is close to that. Iniesta was, I understand Messi was the man in that Barcelona team, but Iniesta and Xavi ended up being super close to the same status, at least in my opinion. I also put, by the way, I also put Messi above Iniesta, as you can imagine, but makes sense to be top 3. I think Iniesta is an amazing talent, and basically the poll shows that 86% of the people believe Iniesta can be top 100 with 32% GOAT level. Again, maybe not GOAT level, being honest. I think he's probably top 50, top 25 all time, but GOAT level for me probably goes top 10, top 15. Gets very debatable, being honest with you, and again, also goes by position. If you want to say Iniesta was one of the best in his position, I completely agree with you. I mean, and in terms of quality, so much talent. One of the best players that I ever saw, no doubt about that. I would say one thing about Iniesta that for people that don't remember him, a lot of people compare him with Modric, for example. I think Modric probably at the end of his career will have more trophies than Iniesta. But what Xavi and Iniesta did was a little bit different. They ended up changing football in a lot of ways. There was a system that both players ended up being the face of that system, and that system ended up being so important for one era of soccer, of football, that makes them very special. Apart from that, Iniesta ended up scoring the goal in the World Cup 2010 final, and that will be history forever. Amazing player, one of my favorites ever. I always think about this. If Iniesta played in the era with Zidane, Ronaldinho, I think Iniesta will probably win Ballon d'Or. But playing in the era of Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, it's quite more difficult. Being honest, amazing player. I look, Iniesta is a type of player that my words don't make justice for the greatness this man was, and still is, to be fair. Moving on to the position number 2, and now I will share with you the players that actually made the GOAT list. You guys know what players I'm talking about, and we start with Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, in this case, 90% end up going with GOAT level. As you can see, there is some people that maybe they are trolls or don't understand, putting 1%, 2%, talking about not relevant. I mean, come on, if Cristiano Ronaldo is not relevant, what are we doing, right? But yeah, let's ignore that. 70% end up putting top 100. This, I would say, some people may believe this in the sense that Ronaldo for me is not GOAT level. There is an argument to be made. I disagree, by the way. I think Ronaldo is evident GOAT level. Ronaldo could be actually the number 1 player ever. He's not my choice. You guys know that I prefer Lionel Messi, but you can make great arguments for Cristiano Ronaldo, and I think is up to debate. So 90% believe Cristiano Ronaldo is GOAT level. If you want to put the 7% of top 100, is 93% 7% believe Ronaldo is top 100, but that's almost obvious, right? So, in terms of rookie material for Ronaldo, one of the more mainstream players, you have the Mega Cracks card and the sticker. Both are beautiful. I love both. I prefer the sticker, but I understand the market likes the card more since we have there is a lot of Americans collecting soccer right now, and cards are quite more popular than stickers. For me, as a Portuguese collector, the sticker tells me a better story, but that's a different conversation for another day. Positive number one, come on guys, can you guys imagine? It's so obvious, right? Is Lionel Messi. And Lionel Messi ended up getting 95% of the votes in the GOAT level, 5% more than Cristiano Ronaldo, but I would say both are unanimous GOATs, unless you don't understand anything about football. I mean, just look at numbers. Just look at what both men did, and you need to put them up there. Maybe it's the best for you, maybe it's the second best, but you need to put them in the top 4, top 5 for sure. So, in terms of again, talking about Messi is something that I don't like to do, in the sense that, come on, this guy is just impossible to stop. He's a legendary player. So in terms of rookie material, there is, also I believe, is 7 or 8 rookies for Lionel Messi. These two, I would say, are the ones I like the most, and I feel the market also puts a premium a little bit higher, the Mega Cracks and the ST sticker. Both amazing collectibles if you want to enter the Messi rookie market. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I think the two GOATs was quite obvious. If you like Messi more, that's fine. If you like Ronaldo more, that's fine. Just actually a quick recap of the list. Not great because there is a couple of things disappearing. So, but I guess I can go from the top of my head. I think Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi is obvious. The 1 or 2 spot is up to you. Maybe you like Ronaldo, maybe you like Messi more. Does not matter. Both are top 2. Top 3, I agree with Iniesta. Number 4, it's probably between, for me, it's probably between Buffon and maybe Neymar. I also think Ibrahimovic have a word in this conversation, but in general, I end up agreeing with choice that my viewers made. I just think the 2 players I think are too low is Luis Suarez and Thomas Muller. Actually, the first 2 players I end up sharing with you. I also think Modric at the end of his career can be a little bit ahead of some players that we saw. Players that end up not making the list that I also thought they could make the list. Toni Kroos is a good example. Marcel is a good example. But overall, I'm not mad at all. I think this was a very solid list. Share with me your thoughts if you agree, disagree. Keep one thing in mind. This have a fun component, and that's it. So, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. See you guys next time. Bye.